Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. Today, we're discussing a model line that I think is just criminally underrated from a brand a lot of people overlook. From Roger Dubuis, launched in 2012, this is the Pulsion Chronograph, a chronometer, a chronograph, a fully manufactured product that is a true sports watch through and through, with levels of material quality and watchmaking that set it apart in the oversized class. So this watch is big at 44 millimeters in rose gold. It's 14.7 millimeters thick, of which a large portion is that enormous overlapping sapphire that overspreads not just the dial, but the bezel itself. And then from lug tip to lug tip, surprisingly short at 50.5 millimeters across the wrist. I'm going to throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, so you get a better sense of it relative to a point of reference. It's a large watch, no getting around that, but you can see that it actually would fit all right on my wrist. It's not too thick. It is very heavy, I'll give it that. You can see, though, that the lugs are slightly inboard of the edge of my wrist. So if you like the look of a watch that is supposed to be a little bit big, not proportional, a very boisterous look, in your face, designed to be seen, but maybe not designed to be recognized for quite what it is. This is a stealth brand and a conspicuous watch, if you can imagine those two things coinciding. So I'm going to recommend it from my wrist size or up, so 16 centimeters circumference and up. Anything bigger, you're going to find it fits quite well. Taking a look at the strap, it's an interesting design because, like most Dubuis timepieces, after the initial homage and sympathie, we have an unconventional lug junction. So you will need a proprietary strap, but the one that's provided is quite robust. You can see a monogram on the bottom, no crimping, no gouging, a brand new Dubuis factory strap, striations, a sort of matte textured profile up top, and then you can see how there's a cross hatching underneath the two striations that run lengthwise. We'll jump over to the clasp. And you can appreciate that we have here twin trigger release, so this large, heavy, and valuable watch will not be subject to a clasp that pops open inadvertently. It is quite secure, and as you can see, it is double Dubuis branded. Like the rest of the watch, it's nicely preserved. You can see all the case lines, the breaks between satin and polish remain super sharp. I like here that we have a bit of an overlap atop the lug, so you can see how there's this overriding satin portion, and then the primary lug shoulder is going to be polished. And then in profile, we have a distinctive wing-like protuberance that balances the design of the chronograph pushers and the crown on the other side, with a combination of satination that is both longitudinal and vertical, and then polished aspects. We also have little hollows at the edges of the lug profiles. It's a very nuanced case design. You can see the profiling, the satin, and the polish of the chronograph triggers, a combination of satin, polish, and media blast on the crown itself. This watch does feature a 100-meter water resistance, but it's got a push-down crown, so it's always handy to set at a moment's notice. Let's do a loom shot. I think you're going to be impressed by what you see. That fully sapphire-capped bezel is also fully loomed, so it's quite easy to see the time. Jumping back, you can see that the crystal itself overspreads both the dial and the bezel that sits beneath, and it's anchored by these rose gold spline screws. When I was at SIHH back in 2018, Audemars Piguet was showing me their Royal Oak anniversary pieces, and they had one offshore that featured a sapphire crystal over the bezel bolts, and they said, this is a world premiere. You've never seen this before, have you? I'm like, nope. And of course, I was lying, because Dubuis did it back in 2012 on the Pulsion series, and 2011 on the Pulsion series, and here it is right here in its glory. It was an original idea. It still looks striking. Now, moving further inboard, we'll reactivate the chronograph here. You can see that we've got a tachymetric scale for gauging speed. So if you want to gauge the speed of a race car around a track, you can use the chronograph for that. You'll see that there are actually smoked sapphires for the sub-registers, chronograph minutes and running seconds. And then we have these unique fusion-style hands for the hours and the minutes, and a nuanced dial that includes elements of lacquer, rose gold, blackened gold, sapphire, and then we have this lovely combination of satination, beveling, and engine turning that's actually the base plate of the movement showing through on the dial side. We have a vertical clutch chronograph, so when you engage it, it engages without any jump or stagger, and if you like, you can leave the chronograph running on a full-time basis with no additional wear, tear, or hazard to the movement. That's the advantage of a vertical clutch. The watch also features a column wheel function cycler. You can see that on the reverse side. And the feel is incredibly crisp. What's unusual here is that this RD680 movement, which is made entirely in-house, it features a vertical clutch that you could see. See here and here, the pincers that grab and release the top hat cymbal-like mechanism. If you can imagine top hat cymbals in music in a drummer's set, they come crashing down, they lift up, they come crashing down. That lifts up, and that allows the clutch to come crashing down into engagement. So up and deactivated, down. Deactivated, down. Just like that. There are very few watches ever built that make the vertical clutch beautiful and visible. It's usually a hidden and ugly mechanism. This is superb. You can see here we have a micro rotor with ceramic ball bearings for efficient winding of the 48-hour power reserve. It pivots on 44 joules. It beats away at 4 hertz or 8 beats per second. You can see Geneva hallmark decoration across all surfaces, and impressively so, with a large movement properly sized for this case. It doesn't feature hacking, but that's the only refinement it lacks. As you can see, just barely ghosted onto the case back. Certified COSC Swiss chronometer. Look at the beveling on the brass components, as well as the steel components of the chronograph, the black polishing of all the screw heads with their chamfered slots and circumference. Look at the tightness of the engine turning on the base plate on both sides of the watch. Look at the stripes, how narrow and many they are across the bridges, taking no prisoners. I love narrowly spaced stripes. And you can see that the locating pegs that are used to locate the bridges on underlying structures, those pegs have been polished on their tops, which is deeply impressive. The anglage is to a high degree of quality, and it is a full manufacture product. As you can see, it features the Roger Dubuis maker's mark on the case. They heavily integrated in a vertical sense in the early 2000s, right down to the point they could make their own hairsprings. So this watch is all Roger Dubuis, and again, 100 meters water resistant and fully illumined. It is a genuine sports watch with outstanding tactile column wheel feel and a movement with that vertical clutch fully visible that's quite unlike anything else. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.